CEO up. We scratched the CEO. It's King Michael Supreme now. And so I appreciate each and every last one of you all for plugging into the Living Like a Boss show on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. We're here every single first Monday of the month from 7 p.m. to 8:15. And I got some phenomenal brothers right here with me this evening. Dr. Norman Vincent Peale here.
College, bro.
We got Brother X, Professor Xavier over here. And so if you all could introduce yourselves to the people a little bit.
Yeah, Norman Collins, actually, not the Vincent Peale.
I'm trying
yeah,
to
it's
give
all
you a
good. You
little
give me a
extra.
little extra. Okay,
Extra.
I appreciate the excellent. Yeah, with my website's I am normancollins.com. Author, a motivational speaker, model, father, grandfather, former pastor. Whatever God wants me to be, that's where I am right now.
You know, we never former pastors,
Right.
brother.
Well, this is
We
true.
never
This is true.
former
Yeah,
pastors.
yeah. Okay, pastor.
There we
Okay.
go. There
Yeah,
we go.
and just glad to be a part of such a wonderful experience. Thank God for my sister, Regina. That's my sister from another mother for sure. A sister from another mister. That's what I call it, right? Yeah, but glad to be here.
And you have your own show on the network, right?
Actually, starting up very soon,
There we go. Make sure we
called
plug it.
Out
Make sure
of
we plug it.
Out of the Norm.
There we go.
Yeah. Looking
There we
forward to a really good time with that. Having some really subjects and things that people want to talk about
Right.
but don't. So we're just gonna make it real and raw and be like, let it be what God wants it to be.
And so what would you say for you is the impact that you desire to create with that Outside of the Norm radio show?
Well, I want people to be able to actually literally think outside the box, because a lot of times we box God in
Right.
terms of what it is that He wants to do in our
Right,
lives.
right,
We
right.
get so used to the norm, and you know, God would, you know, the Bible says now to Him who is able to do exceedingly and abundantly above. That means beyond all the way up ask or think, according to the power that works in us.
Right.
And so we want to make sure that we give place to that, and all about making destiny moves now.
That's
you know,
right.
not just making just a move, because I feel like we're making a destiny move, something that's going to impact your life and other lives as well. Make it global. That's why I like
big.
being a part
And
of
this is the
Yeah.
former pastor, right? Former
it.
pastor. And Brother X, Professor Xavier.
What's going on?
Well, what you want the people to know about you, man? Wait, before he introduces himself to anybody, like, y'all got to put some real respect on this brother's name. I was talking to Miss Regina Sunshine earlier today, and this is like my spiritual teacher, my spiritual father. Like, we walk a serious walk together. We do a lot of things. We met on the, I guess you could say, playground.
Right.
On the
Facts.
playground at the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA. And for those that know me, like the biggest blessing in my life, I've been serving at the YMCA for a while. But they've just recently put me on payroll, and so now
want to do
I'm the director of urban youth development over there at the Andrew and Walter Young YMCA.
Yeah.
And so what we're doing with that piece, my brother right here, we're going to be working together, and we're not just going to be focusing on the programming when it comes to sports, when it comes to anything else that YMCAs are normally mentioned for. We're going to be throwing a lot of tech in there. We're going to be throwing a lot of entertainment things in there.
Yeah.
And the crazy thing is, everything is going to have that spiritual twist to get these kids back to where they need to be as far as being centered on God.
Those are big facts.
Brother X.
Those big facts. So my name is Xavier Stephen Brandon, also known as Professor X. I hail from the great city of Brooklyn, New York, so clearly hail the Giants. Sorry for anybody else who are haters. We're not going to talk
He
about
didn't
that
know we
right
was
now.
in Atlanta. We dealing with the Braves.
Yeah, we're not.
Let him
Shout out to
slide.
all my Falcon fans. My wife is a Falcon fan, so I don't want no problems when I get home. I am CEO or director of Zeke's Dream Center, which is a 501c3 nonprofit. We focus on helping middle school and high school students identify, cultivate, and manifest their dreams, and then connect those dreams to their God-given purpose. We believe that no dream is too big or too small, and we want our dreamers, that I like to call them, to long live their dreams. And so we go into middle schools, high schools, colleges, community centers, wherever they'll have us, to be able to help empower youth, again, to identify, cultivate, and manifest their dreams. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a son, I'm a minister, I'm a pastor, I'm an artist, I'm a lyricist, I'm a DJ, I'm a hip-hop enthusiast.
Everything.
A little bit of everything. But I love people, I love hip-hop, I love culture. And so I'm grateful to be here. I'm living like a boss, and I'm looking forward to some boss talk.
That's real.
So,
That's real. So my question for you is, what would you say to your younger self? Because it's like we've all been through a lot of things in our journey throughout life,
Facts.
and you just named a whole host of things that you have become and that you'll continue to blossom into as you mature in life.
Yeah.
But what would you say to your younger you?
Yeah, I think I would say to my younger me, stop running.
Yeah.
Stop running. I was a runner from my call, from my destiny for a long period of my life. Like, I just didn't want to do it. I was telling Mike pre-show that I wanted to be a rapper. I still am a rapper, but that was my goal. I said if Bow Wow can rap and get signed, surely I can myself.
All facts, all
and
facts.
I came to Atlanta for school. I went to Morehouse, and Morehouse was my plan B. And so my whole goal was like, yo, I'm going to rap. I'm about to murder everybody. I'm nice. And the guy was like, nah, actually, you've been called, stop running. And I think if I could tell my younger self that earlier, instead of worrying about trying to be cool and fit into everybody, that I feel like I could have been a lot further than I am now. Not offsetting God's planning and purpose and timing, but I just feel like a lot of times we run from the thing that we're supposed to do because we're too concerned with how people are going to perceive us. In reality, if we just sat there and just accepted who we were, accept the fact that we're different and that we're strange and we're weird, you know what I mean? There's a tribe of people that can connect with that. So
That's real. That's real.
So.
And so, yeah, I appreciate you all for sitting in with me today and really, really kicking off this show. We're going to have a phenomenal show this evening.
Definitely.
And so this evening, you all can expect to hear from a few really special guests. We got Dr. Sandra Fuller, I'm sorry. I love this Bland, right? Dr. Sandra Fuller, she's going to be sitting in, and she'll be speaking about the Conquer Worldwide workshop that's going on tomorrow evening for men in relationship to finance, which is a phenomenal situation. We have Evan Jefferson that's going to be plugging in, and he'll actually be receiving his Boss Award this evening in relationship to the things that he does in regards to financial empowerment for the community. And when I tell y'all this brother is phenomenal, like when I first met this brother, we were at a high school, and we were doing a career day, and we just crossed paths in introduction, and he's like, bro, he started talking about this Black Wall Street piece that he wants to put together, that he's putting together, that he's doing actively to be able to create change within the community in relationship to finance. And so I look forward to getting him on, sitting down with him, and seeing where he's been, what he's doing now, and where he plans on going into the future as we give this award to him. And then we also have Chef Amari Lee, right? Chef Amari Lee was one of the young bosses that received an award at the 2018 Boss Award show, right? And so he'll actually be on live showing us what he does as far as cooking a meal this evening. And so I don't know if y'all hungry, but I'm hungry.
I haven't had dinner.
I don't care if it's a little crumb on the corner. I'm gonna take a little bit of it, right? And then we got Desmond Kemp, right? Desmond Kemp, who is an author and educator, that's going to be on the show this evening. And he's going to be sharing with us a lot of phenomenal things that he does in relationship to the books that he's developed and the things that he does to be able to educate our kids, to be able to move forward in the community. And so, once again, y'all know, like always, we got to give a huge shout out to our sponsor, Lanita Mitchell Blackwell, Bold Favor Magazine, www.boldfavor Magazine. Make sure you all plug into that. And then there's another website, leadingthroughliving.com. Leadingthroughliving.com. You all make sure y'all check that out. Lanita Mitchell Blackwell, we definitely appreciate your love. Continue to support Living Like a Boss on the Regina Sunshine Global Network. All right, let's get it. Well, we are going to get it in a different type of way. And so to extend the conversation a little bit more, what's one word that you all would say that describes how you all feel right now in this moment?
Excited.
Destiny.
Destiny. Mine would be impact, as always, right?
Always.
And so we're going to go ahead and bring on our first guest. And our first guest this evening is Brother Evan Jefferson. Uh-oh, y'all don't see him. Y'all don't see him, but he's doing a cook walk over here.
I know, right?
He's doing a cook walk. What's up, brother?
Yes, sir.
And so, Brother Evan Jefferson, right? And so, what school was it at when we first met?
Oh,
it was in Decatur somewhere.
I believe it was Southwest DeKalb.
Southwest DeKalb. And so, brother, when I first met you, I remember we were sitting there talking, and I was doing the play when I was running with CEO Millionaires and doing a lot of things like that. And you were like, what does the CEOs and all these O's mean on the hat? And that sparked the conversation. But when I got to know what you do, and you don't know, but I got to peek into one of the rooms when you were talking to the kids on the financial piece, like it's a game changer, right? And so before we get this award to you this evening, I just want to know, where did your passion come from to be able to talk to these kids in relationship to money?
Wow, okay. Well, fantastic question. Again, I'm Evan Jefferson, go by ERGJ. And question at hand, what sparked me? Really, when I think about my community and I think about the things that I've learned and what I did not learn. And one of the things that I didn't learn was about money.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, probably 10 years ago, I took on it to learn. Ended up going to seminars, workshops, picking up things about investing, became a certified financial educator, all these
Right.
things. And I started asking myself, well, what's some of the things that I would have wanted to learn when I was in the fifth grade? And so it took me into that first job I had and how I didn't know how to fill out a tax form,
Right,
what the
right,
ticket
right,
was.
right.
You know, so just certain things like that. And I started asking, well, if I want to know those things in fifth grade, I'm going to start teaching it at the fifth grade.
That's
Wow.
right.
And that's exactly what I did. Started going to career days, setting up classes, setting up my own programs. I started something called Kid Best. And really my focus was to teach kids that they could learn how to make their money work harder for them than they work for their money.
That's
And
big.
so that's what I did for probably the past 10 years, but now I've kind of switched to some new roles. I'm more on the capital building
Okay.
side of things because you got to have some capital in order to invest. So now I
That's
teach
real.
them how to
That's
build
real.
their capital and their cash flow.
That's real.
Wow.
Man, that's huge.
Wow.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just about, I mean, I can just only imagine where I would be now if I had that when I was younger, even in my 20s, you know, at the time, living in Northwest Mississippi, very economically depressed area there, you know, and unfortunately they taught us career discovery and a lot of other things, but I don't ever remember a class about finances, you know, I mean, math, you know, pre-algebra, calculus, you know, and even when I was in community college, you know, they weren't teaching that then. So I think that that's such a very much needed subject matter, not only for school-age folk, but for grown people as well. I think it needs to be taught in churches. It needs to be taught, you know,
Everywhere.
everywhere, you know,
I think one of the most, even to that, like one of the most frustrating things I know when you're moving from job to job is filling out that, whatever the tax form, I don't know if it's
the
W-9.
W-9.
It's so like challenging because you're trying to figure out what number do I put? Do I put 0? Do I put 1? How many dependents? How do I, you know, so, and recognizing when you get that check, like they take out so many taxes out of you, thinking, how do you use the money that you have to make sure that you're investing in it well? And even when we talk about how much money, like how the black dollar like circulates in our community and stuff like that, for you, what is one of the main things that you try to enforce into the teams that you're working with, like when it comes to money, like in the power of money?
Well, one of the main, I mean, I have slogans, mottos, all that good stuff. My first thing to tell them is to study money. Like he said, they learn math, but didn't learn money. And so I know accountants that are broke because they don't know money. They know numbers, but they don't know money. So it's to study money. Number two, if you want to be wealthy. So one of the first things I do when I go into class, ask them if you want to be rich. And you will be surprised how many of them find it hard to actually raise their hand. Because it's like scared to be wealthy, scared to be rich, as if it's a sin or something to actually be well off. And so really changing the mindset to say, you know, I can have the money. Then I got to go into, well, if you don't be rich, well, what do you want to do? Because it's not about the money, it's about what you do with the money. And as he mentioned, impact. So what kind of impact do you want to have in this world? Then you start getting, I want to help the homeless. I want to feed the poor. I want to help the sick. So now you say, okay, well, you do know it's going to take a little bit of money to finance that, right?
Right.
And so now we're getting them thinking, well, I actually do have a reason why I want to be rich. Not just to be rich. Not just to have a big car. Not to have a big house or whatever that may be. But really to make an impact in this world. And then when you start talking about people's mission. And they know that they got to finance it. As a matter of fact, you're a 501c3. What would it be like if you could self-sustain your own 501c3?
Brother, that's what I'm doing right now, okay? Let's talk about
it. So these are things about money and capital and this system that we live in, which is capitalism, but it really goes because it's a global economy. So really getting them to think and refine their ideas, take it a little bit further. If you want to be a lawyer, why not a judge? Judges get paid for a lifetime. You know, so things like this that, you know, that I've learned, the little bit that I know, just to be press upon them, share with them, and not just kids, adults. I just found that kids are more likely to take it than adults because once you've been conditioned to think a certain way, that's kind of where you are. Whether it be job, whether it be, you know, entrepreneurship, is like, you know, to get off of that corporate structure is very difficult for some people. So I really like to start with the kids, so then I think we can raise a new generation as it relates to this thing called money.
So quick question. The concept of learned helplessness, right? Like, how do you overcome the learned helplessness that these kids have based off of the environment that they grow up in, the things they see on TV, like their family members trickling down their mindsets on money? how do you overcome that learned helplessness piece to get these kids to, one, appreciate the dollar, and then two, feel like it's worth having?
That is the challenge. That's the toughest piece. I'm not able to reach them all. I'm only able to help those that want to help themselves, to help those that actually have a brightness within them.
Right.
Some kids, when I get to them, they are already damaged goods. And I don't give up on them. I hope that one seed I'll put in and somebody else will come cultivate these things like that. So as long as I'm there sowing seed, I can't worry about that, right? I got to be a farmer. No matter what the ground is, I got to keep sowing seed, and hopefully it'll land on some good ground.
That's dope, man. You got a book here, right?
Oh,
and
yeah.
last time you was on the show, like, this is a dope book, the Black Billionaires Club, right?
Yeah.
And so speak a little bit about the book.
Well, Black Billionaires Club is a book I wrote last year. As I studied money, I studied the millionaires, the billionaires of the world, and I took notes of the Forbes list and noticed that there wasn't really any black people on there.
Right.
So I said, well, let me just figure out who happened to be the richest black people in the world, and I found that it was 12 billionaires at the time. And I said, okay, well, I found this little bit of information. Let me go find out who they are, and I realized no one wrote a book about them. I said, well, I guess that's what I'm supposed to do. So I started doing my research, compiled the information together, and put a book together for those who wanted to learn and see people that look like me, maybe some things that they've gone through that I might go through, because I plan on being a billionaire. And I just tell people that if you want to be wealthy, you got to study wealthy people. I just choose to study billionaire.
That's real.
Billionaire thoughts, billionaire ways, what they do, what they think about. And it's some very interesting things that you start to see about these people and how they think and what they have gone through to actually get to where they go. And so I just recommend that anybody that's really serious about this thing called money and being wealthy to be inspired by someone that looks like you, that is actually going through some of the things that you might go through, that's overcome.
I like that concept of, because most time people say, I want to be a millionaire, but it's kind of like, you've gone out of the norm.
Right.
Gone into,
no shameless plug.
No, I'm just saying, but in that billionaire mindset, it's like that above, and beyond, I mean that, and that's cool. I think that's where we need to be. When you're teaching the teenagers and whomever you may teach, are you teaching not only about saving and investing, but also about spending habits as well?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it all starts with psychology, and then we get into actually planning. So I teach specifically for the youth. I have something called a youth financial plan. And I believe that if you learn what to do with $1, you'll know what to do with all the dollars that come into your hand. So I break it down and say, well, if you had $1, what would you do with it, right? And then they all give answers and things like that. How much would you spend? How much would you save? How much would you invest? How much would you give away? And so that's a process. That's actually a concept or a course that we go through, whatever the case may be. They walk away and say, well, now I have a plan. That they can go with and follow, never be broken other than life.
So here's a question with the Black Billionaires Club. Is there, and I don't want to give away many of the jewels from the book because, I know you got to go read it. So are there any themes or any common threads that you see in the book that all of these people, have done? Like, is it like they wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, they read the newspaper, or they watch the news, or do they go to sleep or something? Do they, are there any?
Well, so not necessarily habits. The book is more about what they have done and what they're going through. So what industries are they in? Right. And you'll notice on the front of the book there's only 2 athletes or entertainers.
Right.
So that says to me, okay, out of the 12, we only got 2 that are athletes or entertainers.
Right.
And how did they get there? They may have started as an athlete, Michael Jordan, but he actually owned something. Right. Which is the Charlotte Bobcats or a basketball team. And then you got Oprah, who owns something. She owns networks. She owns investments. So now we're talking about things that are similar in nature across what they do. They own, they invest. No matter what they invest in. And so. But I'd be pressed upon you guys to if you could, on the front of that cover, if you could point to who you think is the richest black person in the world.
And let us see this one on this side.
In the world. You got 12 faces there. Who's the richest black person in the world? And I'll give you one thing about this individual. What they say is the number one thing that they want us as people to do is actually get into manufacturing. Go into manufacturing. Now, how many of us are actually manufacturing anything?
Right.
Me too.
We resell, we trade, and all that stuff. But how many of us are actually manufacturing? Who you got?
It beats me, bro. Like, I was thinking it would have been guy down here at the bottom, but when you said manufacturing, it shifted to something totally different.
So he's actually number 12.
Wow.
What you got?
Wow.
Man, I feel like I'm gonna go with her.
Because
Her, she is actually right behind Oprah at number 6, I believe.
okay, so
One
process
last
of
try.
elimination. I
So
don't know
it's
who
not
it
Oprah.
is. It the red tie guy?
Oh, that's actually, he's an American. He's Robert Smith. He's an investor, a private investor. He is number 4.
Do we got a picture of
Getting
this book
closer.
so we can show people what they
They're like,
This is going on right here.
So you can go over to theblackbillionairesclub.com,
That's it right there.
theblackbillionairesclub.com to check out the book. We also do have a club for those that may want to follow. They want to learn how to invest. They want to learn how to build profits and capital. They can follow us there. We do have a club
And
available.
get it web address one more time.
That's
What
the
they
book, theblackbillionairesclub.com.
theblackbillionairesclub.com. So who is it, man?
which
It's,
one?
it's the guy right above the girl who you pointed to.
Him?
Yes, that's Mr. Aliko Dangote
Right?
from Nigeria.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
Nigeria.
So for
Okay.
those is watching,
Matter of fact,
this guy right there.
the 6 of the billionaires are from Nigeria, which tells me
that's
I need to
crazy.
get my butt over
You
to
think so?
Nigeria.
You think-
We need to leave quickly.
A flight tomorrow
But
morning.
he actually owns the largest cement and sugar production manufacturing places in Africa, which supplies sugar and cement all across the world.
Man,
Wow.
that's
All
crazy.
right. So, man, I just hearing you talk about this and this guy right here being the richest out of all of them. Like, it makes me want to go get the book because I'm already about to ask the question.
Yeah, right.
Like, tell me about each and every last one of these people. But in order to really, really understand what's going on right here, you really got to get the book. So plug in. The site has been put up on the live stream that everybody's looking at. But brother, we want to present you with this award right now. Right? And so the official Living Like a Boss Awards 2018 for financial empowerment, my brother. There you go. There you go.
All right.
All right. And so before we leave, bro, you gotta make sure it's spick and span, right?
Yeah.
Before we leave, bro, 10 years from now, right? 10 years from now, where do you desire to be with what God is doing with you through finance for the community, for the young people, for the next generation?
10 years from now, I have a distribution network. We will be a fulfillment center. 10 years from now, we will employ our people, about hundreds, and we'll have made a big impact in getting the homeless off the street.
That's dope.
Amen. Love that.
That's dope.
Yeah,
Well,
that's
brother, I appreciate you for
Yeah,
plugging in.
yeah.
Y'all make sure you
Bless
all
you,
follow
brother.
this
Yeah.
brother on.
God bless
Did
you,
you give
bro.
everybody your
Appreciate
social
you.
media networks?
Man,
So they
just
can
go
get
to theblackbillionairesclub.com. That's actually the best place to follow me. I have private networks because I only deal with people that's serious about winning. So if you're serious about success, you're serious about leveling up, you're serious about getting your capital up, and you'll go to theblackbillionairesclub.com and you'll join the Black Billionaires Club.
There you go.
Can you order your book there?
Order
It's
the
on
book there
Amazon as well?
No, it's not.
Okay.
I actually am a private distributor of my own book.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, another quick tip before I go, I sold 600 copies of that book before I ever wrote it.
Hey.
Wow.
So
Yeah.
you don't have to have money to make money.
That's what I'm talking about. bro.
Already.
Yeah.
That's
Appreciate it.
Already. And
Wow.
you all, the next person that we're about to introduce right now is Dr. Sandra Fuller. And so we spoke earlier today about the Conquer the World conference that's going on tomorrow that focuses on empowering men in regards to finance. How you doing, Queen?
Hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
All right.
How are you? Pleasure to meet
Pleasure
you.
to
How you
meet
doing?
all
Pleasure to
of
meet
you.
you as
Wow,
well.
thank you guys for inviting me.
Certainly.
No problem. And so normally it's all men on the Living Like a Boss show. So you got to be a phenomenal woman to
Yeah.
be able to sit in the space of a phenomenal man.
Yeah, I do believe I'm in greatness. I love this.
That's
But
awesome.
When Regina and I talked about it, I was like, wow, I'm going to be amongst men, all men. Perfect.
There you go.
Great.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about yourself and what's going on with the Conquer the World.
Well, I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Conquer Worldwide, and that's located right here in Douglasville. And we're a consulting company. We also have a ministry, Kings and Priests, and we're doing a lot. The consulting company is helping to do exactly what Mr. Evans Jefferson just said,
Okay.
which is to create entrepreneurship.
Wow.
We understand, like, we hear all these awful things that's going on in the black community. Police brutality, poverty, single-family homes, it's all there. But we've got to look at the problem and then figure out what the solution is.
Right.
And I think we found the solution. The solution is entrepreneurship.
Right.
The solution is really creating wealth within the community,
Definitely.
right? But you need resources.
Right.
You need relationships.
Yes.
So there are a lot of things we can't do by ourselves, and a lot of us tend to try to do it by ourselves, and we fail and wonder why we fail. That's because we're trying to do it alone. So we've created a network of people to help you, right? So if you want to, we have people who have open bed and breakfasts, tech companies, whatever startup it is.
Right.
And it doesn't mean that you're going to be a millionaire. I got to tell people this. You're not going to be a millionaire overnight.
Right.
And sometimes that's not the goal, but you've started your company. And so our goal is to get people to employ one person and then the next. Become an employer in your community.
Right.
And that's really what we're about. So we've got the consulting company where we help people by walking them through the entrepreneur process, providing them with resources, relationships. And if you need a lawyer, we're going to help you find a lawyer. I have a client that's being sued right now because he made bad decisions starting out. And so we're helping him to find a contracts attorney to help him figure it out. So he's not suffering by himself like, woe's me, but we're helping him to become aggressive, take action, and make the right decisions this time around.
Yo, that's awesome. So how old do people have to be in order to get involved in the program?
Oh my goodness, no, you don't have to be. And nowadays, entrepreneurs are starting out at 14.
Right.
Tomorrow night, Dr. Watkins, who is our CEO, he's actually in Atlanta. I'm sure you guys would love to have him here tonight. He's a great friend of Regina Sunshine. He's hosting a dinner for men because one of the conversations we're having now is we can't have a conversation, a general conversation about the solution.
Right.
We've got to compartmentalize men because men are a disenfranchised part of the disenfranchised community.
Right.
So the conversation, us women, we're go-getters. We kind of squeak through everything. We'll make do with what we got. But the disparity in the black community for men is great. So Dr. Watkins, through his ministry, Kings and Priests, is hosting a men's conference tomorrow night at 6 p.m. at the Omni Hotel. He's having a dinner with his board tonight. But the conversation is great because it's about how do men come together in our community and pool our resources. Start talking about how I can help you come up. For so long, we've been accused. I don't think this is true, but we've been accused of being crab in the barrel, kind of pushing each other. I really don't believe it's true, but that's the mentality that people have about us, right? So we've got to shape the conversation. We've got to shape the dialogue about who we are, who we want our men to be, because poverty starts in the home. It's divided. We have single moms. 60% of black women are single. Why is that? Because our men are in jail. They're homosexuals. I'm not plugging that or saying anything about it, but that's a fact, right? They're in jail. And they're disenfranchised, right? They're homeless. How do we get that to change? How do we get our brothers to come up? And that's if you guys start talking.
Definitely.
You start healing. And sometimes you can't be an entrepreneur until you heal.
Right.
If you have issues, you got to get those things worked out. And that's why men need to come together and support each other. And that's what we're doing tomorrow night. We're bringing men together. I'll get to be in the back. But it's just men, and it's great because you get to talk as men, right? You're not sugarcoating it. You're really talking. And the good thing about tomorrow night is you get to get resources.
Right.
Like I said before, you can't do anything without resources or the right relationships.
That's real.
So that's what we do.
That's dope. And so if I'm not mistaken, Dr. Robert Watkins was our Man of the Year for the Boss Awards of 2018.
Absolutely.
So that's a huge deal,
Yeah.
And so when you're speaking, like I'm drawn into this whole unity piece, right? Because Professor X and I, on the way over here, we were speaking and we were talking about the division, not just along races, not just along nationalities, but division across in households, division inside of schools, division inside of so many different places that creates this world the way it is. And so for you all to create a platform for men to come together, like it's one thing to have some people that you could talk to that are brothers, but it's another thing to have conversation with men that you could be vulnerable with, men that you could share your deepest and darkest with. Those are the type of men that you could build with. And so what God is doing right now, I know that what he's doing is he's calling an army to be able to move forward into the world and fight the fight that he needs to be fought here to be able to create the positive change that needs to happen in this world. And so one of the biggest things that are missing is the men leading the pack, the men stepping up and being what men are, because a lot of times men don't even know what it means to be a man.
Yeah.
Like there's a foundation that I'm developing called the King Builders Foundation, and so that King Builders Foundation spun off the fact that I have a 10-month-old daughter now, right? And when my 10-month-old daughter was born, like I realized immediately that as men, what we were taught was the vast majority of us were only taught two things. And if you do these two things, it makes you a man. You protect and provide. And your ability to protect and provide is skewed based off of whoever taught you how to protect and provide. But the crazy thing is, a lot of men don't even realize that they're teaching people, teaching young men how to do these things just by showing up. Their ability to do or not do. These kids are watching. And so this King Builders Foundation was designed to not only teach the boys that piece, but teach them the well-roundedness of what it means to be a man. Because also, when I saw that these two things is what we were taught, I also realized there were so many things that I wasn't prepared for. As a growing and maturing man, to be a father, to be a great son, to be a great brother, like the whole nine, to be a brother to brothers that we're not even blood with. Like there was a lot of things that I wasn't taught, but in those environments, around mentors, and like when I'm listening to what you speak about the kings and priests, like that's a mentorship program. Like and brother Professor X and I were just talking.
What I was wondering about is if entrepreneurship is like the key, right? How do you take an idea in one's head, what male or female, how you take it into manifestation? How, from your perspective, like I want to be let's say I want to own a publishing company or something like that, or whatever the thing. What would you say, like, how do I take a person who's like, man, I think I can do this, but I can't get no job, and what is the step? Like, take us through a consultation.
That's great, because that's what I do every day. And the first thing we do is we download what's in your head.
Okay.
Because we never want to tamper with your vision, right? It's yours. But what we try to do with that vision is get it on paper, right? And the first thing we ask you to do is tell us what you're thinking. Tell us what your vision looks like. The next thing is we do an assessment of that vision. Some things are just good hobbies, guys, right? But there's hobbies that we can really monetize and make them into, you can generate income from that, right? So a typical person will come and say they have a big vision, right? They want to become a millionaire and they have this great idea. But the first thing to do is get it on paper and flesh it out. I'm really good at pulling it apart, right? Pull out the different parts. How does this look in the community? Is there a need for this? Are you solving a need? I think that was talked about before. You've got to look at the community. I believe Brother Jefferson was saying manufacturing now, there's a need for that, right? Are we serving a need, or is it something that's already there? And even when it's something that's already in the marketplace, we can look at making it unique, adding something extra to it with technology. We can certainly do that, but not to change the vision or take away from the vision, but just to build it so that it could fulfill a need.
That's true. That's good.
So I'm assuming that there's like I have a workforce development background, so I'm thinking in terms of career pathways. So is there such as the building of that, after you write it down, then this is the next step, and then you know, and then there are targets and things that you set along the way?
Yeah, we have about 7 steps in our program that we tailor for our clients, and some are different. Some people come to us, already know what they want to do, already have it fleshed out. But in our program, we structure it as a 7-step, and we walk you through the steps. We show you how to structure the business, first of all. You got to make it a legal business. And not just that, you have to understand why you're picking an LLC over incorporation. Not just say I want an LLC, but you understand the benefits of it, because it has some great benefits. You got to understand, if you do have a corporation, what are the responsibilities? Because a lot of people may do it, costs $100, but don't understand the requirements of that to keep it a legal entity. We walk you through that process. We also create the plan. Now you gotta have a plan. It doesn't have to be a 60-page business plan, which I write, but you gotta have at least enough as an executive summary where someone else who wants to take part in your vision can read. You've gotta do the research. That means that you've gotta do a demographic study. You've gotta get your numbers, and then most importantly, you gotta know what the budget looks like. We get a lot of people who come to us and ask us about financing. And invariably, everyone wants the money. And the question is, what are you going to do with that money?
Right,
do you know
right.
how much money you actually need? Because money can be a blessing or it can be a curse, depending on how you use it. So we'll create a plan for you to get the money and how you're going to spend the money, because it's debt, it's good because it's a business, but it still has to be paid back.
Right.
So your vision has to be something that you can market, you can make money from, but there has to be a plan. You can't just, I mean, people have been doing that where they just go and do it, but if you really want to have true success, that something that creates something that can be handed down, you really want to put it on paper. You really want to create a legal entity,
Right.
and you really want to create a vision for the company 5, 10 years out.
That's real. And so, question for me, like in painting the big picture of everything, right? Kings and Priests does what it's called to do, and it produces X number of African American entrepreneurs that are men. Like, what does that impact look like on the community?
Well, we're doing impact, I mean, in the community as entrepreneurs. We have people who are building out their companies. And that's great because we have a young guy, I won't say his name, but he just started his company. And he lives in Fayetteville.
Okay.
And he leaves his job at 5, and we'll wait for him to get to Douglasville, because sometimes he wants to come to the office. And he doesn't have a lot of money. So we create programs that are low cost for young guys. He's 23, and we're walking him through his vision, because he's right there, right? He doesn't have any children, he doesn't have any wife or anything, but he said, I want to create something, right? And it's not a huge thing. He came to us asking us to show him how to help his design. He's creating a t-shirt, right? So now we've shown him how to take that t-shirt, that logo he's designing for a t-shirt, and put it onto clothing, different, you know, accessories, hats, right? And he's excited because he's still working his 9 to 5. He's still responsible for that, but he's creating something slowly but surely. That could be the next FUBU, right? It could be the next Gucci. We don't know, but he has a drive inside of him. And so we don't number our impact by our success by who's a millionaire, who isn't. We measure it by the lives that we're changing. We have guys who've been to jail, right? And nobody wants to look at them financially. Nobody wants to give them any opportunities. And we show them. Sometimes we do it for free. Our consulting program, we charge for it. And sometimes we charge a low cost. But sometimes we have workshops, and you can come to our workshops every second Tuesday of the month and just learn. And we bring experts in who want to help you, right? So the resources are there, the help is there, and I mean, it's excellent services that you're getting. So when the men meet tomorrow night, they're going to have a plan. Right? And so a lot of us fail because we don't have a plan. And some men are idle because they just don't have a plan.
And so where can the men go that are listening right now? Where can they go to get tickets for tomorrow?
Well, our website is kpunlimited.org. kpunlimited.org. You can call me. I may pick up the phone tonight at 888-526-1118. And we did commit to Regina that we would give a few of her men some tickets. So if you call me tonight, I get the calls transferred to my phone because this is such a great event. And tomorrow morning before noon, I'll add you if you're the next 5 men to call.
Hey, next five men to call. Y'all better get look. I already got my spot.
I got mine too. I'm in there. I got the email today. Yes.
So you'll be there.
I'll be there. But we want to make sure our men are there. We want to make sure that the men are represented. And at the Boss Awards show, it was just so heartwarming to see what our community is doing for each other. And the men that are coming up. When you see a guy come out of prison and he's talking from his heart and he's desperate to do something different, that's why we exist. So we want guys like that to come out to Kings and Priests, rub shoulders with guys who've never been to prison, right? But he's done something, he has something to offer you. Listen to him, learn from him because he wants to help. So that's what we're doing. We have a few tickets, like I said. We're going to give 5 more tickets away.
And if you can give that number one more time and the address where they can find you, then we're going to shift to Chef Amari Lee.
Yeah, it's 888-526-1118. And the website, if you can log on, is kpunlimited.org. And if you get lost, just go to conquerworldwide.com.
I definitely appreciate you for plugging in.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Thank you. I'll see
My
you
pleasure.
tomorrow.
I'll see you guys
Okay.
tomorrow.
Thank you
God bless
so
you.
much.
It's like, y'all, I must be hungry
Right.
Yeah.
because I really want to get the chef
Get
on my
right,
list.
right.
But we're going to go to Mr. Desmond Kemp, my brother. So Desmond Kemp, for those that weren't on the show from the beginning, Desmond Kemp is an author as well as an educator. How you doing, brother? Michael Supreme.
All right, Norman Collins.
Good to see you, man.
All right.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
So
Good to see you.
Desmond, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Desmond L. Kemp, an author, PhD student at Clark Atlanta University.
Okay.
Seeing you.
I just relocated from Chicago to Atlanta.
Right.
And I was a teacher in Chicago prior to accepting to become a doctoral student
That's dope.
at Clark Atlanta.
It's awesome.
Yes.
What part of
dope.
Chicago you from?
Southside.
Southside.
So tell us a little bit about the book. You know, how many books is it? Because it's like author. Like, what's going on?
Yeah.
All right. So, Uncommonly Common is this the first one.
Okay.
This is the first one, and with Uncommonly Common, it is a 10-fiction series. I won a contract with 220 Publishing in 2013, and they released the first one, and gave me the opportunity to branch out and bring in the series. So there are 3 different books, but only one is released right now.
Right.
And we are actually, my artist and I, we are working on the next one because we had a high request for a younger version of the book because that is written for juveniles, which is ages we reached to age 10, but it's really age 12. So we reached from age 10 to 14 with that book right here.
So why the name Uncommonly Common?
Yeah.
Uncommonly Common is you. First of all, as a teenager and as a male, we live our lives thinking things are only happening to ourselves, right?
Right.
And so Julian, the main character, Julian is telling a story about his life as a preteen. So he has his first kiss, his first wet dream, his first erection, first girlfriend. And there are many things that he go on to have as his first. I'm not going to tell the whole book.
Right.
But he experiences many of his firsts in this time, and whenever he goes through it, he's looking at it as this is an uncommon thing, but it's happening as a common situation that's happening to everybody that's around him. So many people are experiencing the same experiences. So it's common, but it's uncommon for him. And one of the things, it was a play on words. And one of the ideas of it was really just to have fun with it.
Right.
Because the book is very fun. It's a fun read.
Right.
Having it, so Uncommonly Common, I was watching TV. The name of the book changed from so many different.
I could imagine.
I had 5 different names for the book. And it was interesting that this lady on TV, she was crying. It was an old white lady. She said, "This is just so uncommonly." And I
That's it.
I loved it, and that's how I settled with uncommonly as being part of the main title. But I wanted it to be common, and because I wanted to reach multiple age groups, and because it was that, I needed common there. But uncommonly definitely was something that I wanted to stick with.
And so is the book going through schools right now, community organizations?
I actually have it in 3 schools right now.
Okay, cool.
And they are really, I have one teacher that's actually testing it with her students in special ed. And
Right.
Because the book, I wrote it in broken language.
Wow.
And I wrote it in improper, I used improper grammar and different punctuations in the wrong places. To really get the kids really excited, and they can go in the book as white space in the book, so they can work through it, and they can make the changes, and that's what a lot of the students are doing, and it's really interesting to see because now, and I tested it on my own students as well in Chicago, and many of them really took on to it, and they were like, we need to see more of this, because I only gave them certain chapters, but they wanted to read more, and they actually were working through the book as it was written. Which is a good thing. I love to see that. And so now teachers are taking it on, especially in the special ed, because you have one of the things that happens is you have the lack of character representation in a lot of literature. So I have a kid that is special ed in the book.
Wow, cool.
And I also have another student, another kid that goes through abuse. That's mentioned in the book as well. So you have those characters, and you have those people that the characters that represent other people and the same quality of the type of students, the caliber of students that you see on a daily basis.
Well, you know, before I pass the ball over this way, because it's like you got something to make.
Yeah, I do.
Like this book, like I'm excited about the book right off the gate because it addresses the conversations that need to be had, right? Yeah. And right now it's on the male side, but I know you're gonna do one for the females, right?
Actually, in the second one, and I wanted to keep that limited or of non-public information, but in the second one we speak more on the female side.
Well, I'm glad we could be the first.
Thank you for dropping that.
Right, real talk.
Exclusive.
That's a big deal, man.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
There's so many things as men that we don't talk about. You know, there's so many things as humans that we don't talk about, and we feel like it's just happening to us. So at a young age, when teaching kids at a young age that listen, like these type of things are not just a you thing. Like it empowers the conversation, the creativity, and making it for me a dual learning experience where you learning about yourself, but you also learning how to write at the same time. I think that's really, really dope for the kids, man. I'm excited about it, bro.
Definitely. One of the things I want to point out, Mike, can you show the people what the cover art is for the book?
Oh wow. We got a good picture on that.
One of the things that I want to point out, the fact is that it's minorities and people of color on the front page of the book. A lot of times when I see books in general, they don't really have many representations of people of color.
Facts.
You know, and so what was it for you that made you make the characters, at least from a visual perspective, look like us? Yeah.
Well, the first thing, the characters are black.
Okay.
And that was the main thing. They are black, and another thing is the need for it to be as number one. You see them; they're quite fashionable. That is one of the things that is appealing. Nobody wants to read black and white. I'm so against the black and white covers.
Right.
Sometimes those are really good reads. However, when you go to a book fair or whenever you have children that go, the Goosebumps books were the books
that were the books you wanted.
Babysitter's Club, Boxcar Children. They were the books that many of the kids went to. Why? Because they had color. And I felt like having a book with kids that actually looked like and wore clothes of kids. And honestly, this is kids in the 90s. The story is told from about kids in the 90s. Well, the 90s was a very fashionable time. I decided to have them to be as fashionable as possible, but one of the things I wanted the character Julian to be very, like I said, relatable. I wanted everybody, all of the kids that read him especially, to be able to relate to him. I actually utilized one of my former students as the model for Julian. So when he was in 5th grade, I took a picture of him in 5th grade. I felt like that would be the look I needed for the book. And I took a picture of him in 5th grade when he was pouting. It was interesting how we got his image, and I shared it with my illustrators, and they loved it. And they took it and just did a lot of different work with it. So we were able to come up with a very, very solid character look, and I'm able to actually utilize this character. And like I said, in the second one, in the next one, that it's going to be a younger version. So we were able to make him 5 in that one. And his face is very similar. It's very identical. You can identify who he is. And it's very intriguing how the characters can come about and how they can form. And we've also been able to play and make him, in this book, he's 12. And then in the last one, he's 21.
Wow.
So we
scalability, right?
Following track.
So so he goes from, so this one he's 12 to 13. And the second one, I have him, like I said, I'm releasing the second one. And he's a younger age. But when the series come back, he'll be 14, 15, 16. All that. It's all happening in a 3-year time span. And the last one, he graduates from high school off to college.
Man, I am glad we're able to get all the inside scoops in this whole
serious,
book series. That's a big deal.
Does it, guys?
Go for it.
Does it do? Do you? Well, first of all, it's uncommonly common. It's really out of the norm. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Y'all check them out when the show starts. When the show starts.
Hopefully next month. Okay, that's my plan.
Oh,
but it's
Lord.
out of.
Y'all be on the lookout for it.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I just heard a lot of. I mean, God speaking like really do it. Yeah, but do you deal with bullying in here as well?
Yes.
Okay. I mean, that's a really hot subject, and I wanted to know. You said the books was like in 3 schools. Is it here in this area, or is it in Chicago or
Chicago and Florida?
Okay.
And we actually, I just had a teacher in Marietta or Duluth.
Yeah. Some of them call it Dulles. My sister, my daughter.
It's all good.
A teacher in Duluth actually just purchased it at a fair a couple of weeks ago, and she wanted to get it, but we haven't had any further conversation about putting it in her school yet. But definitely it's getting around.
Yeah.
Well, I know I definitely want to get a copy of the book, you know, because what we do at the YMCA, working with the teens at the Y, like it could be a good plug for working with our teens, our males over
definitely.
there. But for everybody that's watching, like I know there's one common thread between yourself and Miss Sandra Fuller, Dr. Sandra Fuller that just spoke. You know, she spoke about the entrepreneurship piece, and she spoke about understanding your demographic, your background, like everything that's going on. When you was explaining how you went through, like, and literally pulled this thing apart to understanding this is the fashion. Understanding this is the fashion, this is the time, this is how we're going to move. These are the characters that need to be in there to make it relatable. This is the way it needs to be worded to make it relatable to the audience. Like, I feel like I don't feel like I know that that's a huge deal as to why this book will be an extreme success, because you've already dug up and done the work that you need to do to make sure that this book appeals to the audience you desire for it to appeal to. So I just congratulate you for doing the entrepreneurship work before releasing the product.
That's great.
That's a huge deal.
Definitely. So thanks for the research.
Yeah.
Desmond, tell the people, can the people purchase this? Is it available?
I'm not up here for no reason, right?
Tell us how we can get the book.
I can give y'all
so
enough
we can
information.
support
The book can be purchased right now on my website, www.uncommonly1.com. Again, www.uncommonly1.com, and it's the number 1. And as well, it's on Amazon or Barnes & Noble online. So you can go type in Uncommonly Common, Desmond L. Kemp, and it'll pop up.
That's dope.
Follow me on social media, Facebook, Desmond L. Kemp, the author, and as well on Instagram, Uncommonly Julian. That's it.
That's all. But we definitely appreciate you, brother.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, that's out of the norm. I'm still going to say that. That's all I'm
Right.
Appreciate you.
And so, we haven't done this in a minute, but we're going to do it right now. We're going to take a big break, man. Again, we appreciate everybody for plugging in. We're going to give it a quick second. We got one of my brothers in the building, Mr. Laris Hodges. I'm excited to see him, and I know y'all going to meet him when we come back. All right, y'all? Let's get it.
You ready? You're excited? The guys are going to come around you, okay? With the mics.
Here we go, son.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Listen, I need to talk loud. Is that good? All right. Talk loud.
I'm gonna put on the start class so you gotta do
All right. Help me so I don't mess up your stuff, baby. I'm just like, okay, make sure I don't mess this up.
I want to play.
Y'all gonna dance?
I'm going to dance. I'm going to.
All right, guys, you guys position yourselves around them. And I guess, Mike, when you come back, you can introduce Laris. I know the space is gonna be tight behind us. Oh yeah.
You ready?
If you want them in a particular position, you gotta tell them it's
Lord.
your segment.
Chef, how you want us? How you want us, Chef?
We're going to need 2 men over here.
Over here against the wall.
Okay.
All right, yeah.
I gotta dance too.
And
Chef Shayla.
Chef Shayla. Amari Lee and Chef Shayla. All right, you go. Man.
Oh, that looks good.
So they switching roles today.
Okay.
She baked, he he normally her sous chef. So his favorite, she gonna be his assistant.
That's dope. That's dope.
That's nice.
I'm excited to see what's about to happen over here. And it smell good already. Tacos, I'm with it. Oh, it's some fish.
Oh, wow.
That chicken?
Yes.
That was like
Oh
chicken
my
to me.
goodness.
Yeah, I gotta dance too, so I get
Oh my goodness. Are we already hot?
No, we're gonna wait.
Oh,
Oh, we won't need to turn the grill on before we turn it on.
you sure?
I mean,
It
heat
get
up
hot
real
real
fast.
quick.
Well,
Oh, Jesus.
Straight down. Yeah, I have to dance to our intro music.
Okay, we got you. We got you.
So we got intro music before we say anything?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, let's get it.
Dance on, dog.
Bro, I am hungry and I'm going to eat.
Yes.
Y'all ready? My Kiki will work.
No, we're not doing. We're not doing that.
All right, y'all, we back with the Regina Sunshine Living Like a Boss show. We got Chef Amari Lee and Chef Ashayla in the building. And so before we get started with anything else, they said that we got to jam to whatever intro music they got.
I hope
so
this
let's
music
hear
is
it.
good, okay?
It better be.
Oh. Hey.
All right, I give you a little Millie Rock or something like that, or a little wiggle in here. There we go. All right. So now y'all got it. Now y'all got it. Amigo, that what you wanted? That's what that was.
That's
what
Migo,
that was.
yeah. Stir fry.
We didn't want to let it get too close in there.
Right.
But we back, man. We live. Like I told y'all, I was hungry earlier.
Yeah.
I tried to get him on the show sooner, but now he's here. Brother, tell us a little something about yourself right quick.
So my name is Chef Amari Lee, and today I have for you Fiesta chicken tacos with cilantro and a hint of lime.
My G, look. For those that don't know, this young brother actually received one of the Young Boss Awards at the 2018 Boss Awards show, man. Like, this is a big deal, right? So, how long have you been cooking?
So I've been cooking for 2 years.
2 years.
2 years?
2 years.
Okay, so, Chef, you got to tell me, what made you start, man? Were you just hungry one day and you was like, yo, I need to fix something. I'm tired of sandwiches. Like, what was it?
So my sister actually inspired me to bake, and I also wanted to do savory food. So yeah.
Cool. That's what's up. Wow. And so if I understand correctly, your sister, she's normally cooking it up in the kitchen, and you assisting her. But today she's assisting you. Yeah. That's a big deal, boss style.
So you get to run your sister there. Okay.
That's real.
Okay, I want to know where you learned the big word cilantro. Not just kidding. But
that is a big one.
That's a big word for a kid, cilantro. I didn't know what that was.
Well, if he's in the kitchen dealing with it, he got to know what he's dealing with.
Yeah, you know, I mean, I cook a little bit, but I don't use cilantro. But anyway, thank you. But I want to. What's your favorite dish, man? What do you like?
My favorite dish is actually salmon. I love
salmon. What is it with salmon? How do you do that? How do you season it?
So one of my dishes I have with salmon, I did this teriyaki salmon with asparagus and mashed potatoes.
Really?
Wow.
Teriyaki salmon.
Wow. That sounds like that gourmet situation.
That sounds like something
there,
we need to have.
That's that top shelf.
Right, yo, can we hire you?
No, for real quick.
So, Chef, you got to tell us, school us on what we need to do, how we get this popping. If we want to do this at home, like, what we need to do, Chef?
Well...
Or would you like to demonstrate?
Meditate.
That's the first thing. That's the first thing. You got to meditate, get your head right, so that you can be one with the food you about to cook up, right? And so when we're about to cook this, you said we're doing chicken fajitas?
Yes. Yeah. No, we're doing Fiesta chicken taco with cilantro and lime. Lime.
Okay.
Bad.
So you see your assistant already cooking up. Your assistant getting ready.
So I just preheated the skillet and then I sprayed it with Pam.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Chef.
And so what's the next thing we're gonna do after? Oh, all right, feel it getting hot. They said it.
Might want to back up.
Real quick. So what's the next thing we do after this thing gets all heated up? How do we make it work?
Yeah. So at home, you want to wash the chicken first.
Right.
When I was at home, I already seasoned my chicken with.
Okay.
I seasoned my chicken with cayenne pepper.
Okay.
Paprika.
Okay.
and one of my favorite seasonings, Chef Emerald's chicken roll.
Okay. For all those that don't know, you better go get it. You better go get it. Hey, look, y'all need to sponsor the Regina Sunshine Show for real. Regina Sunshine Global Network. There we go.
Can I put some lemon pepper on, man? I like lemon pepper. Can I do that?
Yes.
I'm just saying, I mean,
You got some lemon pepper in the car?
Oh, man.
Oh man.
No, I just want to know, can I do that? I changed the pesto.
So, Larry, you sound like he knew exactly what he was doing when he was calling out the seasonings.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually one of my favorite dishes, and the worst thing is I'm excited about the idea. You know, I can already smell chicken on the grill.
Yeah.
And I mean, we want to uplift this, but he came a long way, man. Let's let him do what
Do
he
your
Do
thing.
your thing,
Do your thing. I feel it. I'm gonna step back.
Yeah.
So show us how you make it.
So,
Want me to hold the plate for you?
yeah.
Okay.
This is a great
here.
sous chef. And so I hope y'all can hear the sizzle, right? I hope y'all can hear the sizzle, right? I wish y'all could be here to taste this right now, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna enjoy about 3 or 4 just for every single last person that's watching, right? For real, for real. You could already smell it. Wow. Wow. And so, sister, what's your favorite thing to cook?
Well, I'm really more into the baking side, so I let my brother do the cooking.
Right,
so
right.
my favorite thing to bake would have to be my famous red velvet cake.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hold on, everybody in the studio.
I'm just gonna go ahead and claim it. It's famous.
She said everybody in the studio just shut down for 3 seconds when you said red velvet.
nuts or no nuts?
Both.
And chocolate or no chocolate base?
Oh, chocolate base.
Now, do you do a mean pound cake too?
Yes, I do. Lemon pound cake.
Really?
Yes.
Is that from Mississippi?
Did you bring some?
Look, man, everybody from Mississippi, you don't gotta be from Mississippi to do the lemon pound thing, you know?
I do a lot of southern desserts. And then I also I twisted the red velvet cake and I did a strawberry red velvet cake.
Wow.
Which is
Wow.
so good.
Wow.
It's my mom's favorite.
How do you
I
get
don't know if
some?
they can hear my favorite is your strawberry lemonade.
Yeah.
Strawberry lemonade.
Yes.
Like you
It's
gotta
strawberry
explain.
lemonade pound.
Yo,
You gotta explain.
What?
Yeah. So, chef, tell us about what you did. How did you season it? What you doing?
So now I'm laying my chicken out on the grillet, and then about for like 10 minutes it'll be like all the way cooked, and I'll let the other side cook for another 10 minutes
Okay.
to see if it's fully done.
Cool. But it sounds like you know what you're doing, brother. It sounds like you know what you're doing. Like you didn't get that boss award just to get it.
Right.
Like for real, for real.
Okay.
Regina, you look ready. You look ready. I saw the hands go back like it's go time. It's go time. And so after this chicken is done, what's gonna be the next step?
So the next step, well, my sister is gonna be cutting the lime and the cilantro, and I'm gonna get the tortillas and put it in here so they can warm up.
Oh wow. Y'all ready, bro. Hey, Professor X,
What's
you came on the right day.
I know, right?
You came on the right day,
I appreciate
brother.
you helping me for this.
Hey man, no problem.
So does for any of you all cooking or baking, does it bring some type of like joy and passion out of you? You like cooking a lot?
Well, I know I love to bake. Baking has been a passion for mine since I was little, since I was like 8 years old. So I used to get into the kitchen with my grandma and make sweet potato pies and homemade biscuits and whatnot.
Okay.
So that's always been a passion for me.
Do you find it like therapeutic? I mean, does it like help you to kind of calm down, think about things, and
You know, I like to
like it.
I like to eat. So
that's
there we go.
She got a
I
mean
like to eat.
sweet tooth. For those that don't know what I like to eat and baking means, it means I got a mean sweet tooth. And I'm not trying to go get them little Debbies. You know, I want to make it myself. That's what's up. So what about you, Chef Amari?
So, wait, what was the question again?
I wanted to know, is this a passion of yours? Like, do you enjoy this? Does it bring you like happiness and joy?
Yes, I really enjoy this. Like my sister, I love to eat too.
Right.
That's what's up, bro. So what's where do you see yourself? Is this something that you're just doing right now for fun, or do you have like a plan, like 3 years from now? Where you see yourself at with this?
Well, I kind of see like, really, I'm not gonna have like my own restaurant, but I'm gonna help out my sister with her business. So, yeah.
That's a big. That's a good.
I
That's
know,
a good brother.
I know that Mari always enjoyed. He likes to travel a lot.
Right, right.
So because when he got the boss award, I think, didn't you say that you wanted like to travel and inspire kids to cook as well, or inspire them to be bosses like you?
Yes.
That sounds like a food truck. That sounds like a food truck. You know?
Hello.
That sounds like a road trip, different places.
Well, when children in general can become feeding themselves, they become their own self-sustaining entity.
Yeah,
right.
I'm sure the parents.
Oh yeah.
Like, oh, just go in the kitchen, go whip up those.
As a matter of fact, make me about 3.
Right. Call me.
Or while I'm gone, if you just had it, so when I get back,
right.
You know.
And they left off the fact that they started out teaching classes.
Really?
So they have kids come to the house every other weekend.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they taught life skills, and we also incorporated reading, math, social studies, science. So we created this STEAM program around it. So it started out just making sure kids understand how to be independent.
Yeah.
We have a non-profit called Greater Giving.
Okay.
And so with Greater Giving, we give food to kids that are hungry over weekends and long breaks of school. So Amari took it very personal in a way that kids were hungry.
Yeah.
So
Mama, you know you gotta find your way over here, right?
I don't want to be
Come on, Mama.
going hungry over the weekend. So I incorporated my kids as a single parent. They do everything with me.
Right.
So we started to feed kids. I would keep a pantry in my art closet. And Shayla she loved to bake. So part of her contribution was to help the kids understand how to prepare the food if their parents weren't home.
Right.
Because we had some kids that was coming to school with like burns from trying to make noodles and all types of things. So we started to do these events called Need to Feed.
Wow.
And so the kids that signed up for Need to Feed, they got to take health and safety classes with a Shayla. Wow. And so Amari, he's a very structured person. So he would help me organize the food, help me make sure the list was straight, help me make sure every kid was served. So that's where they started before they actually started to get into the point of wanting to have their own business.
That's awesome.
And how would somebody get in touch with you all? Are you all first? Or are you all still doing those type of workshops?
Yeah. So for the workshops, for the cooking workshops, man, it's phased over. So Shayla has a website. It's cookmeupanoch.com. You can reach both of them at cookmeupanoch.com. They do baking classes, baking parties. She travels and speaks along with her brother. He's starting Coolidge Academy, and what Coolidge Academy is all about is about teaching kids how to be bosses like him. So he enjoys motivating other kids, and he's just getting out there. So being around you guys are very encouraging for him because he sees you all, and I notice how much he pays attention, and he observes men, and he's trying to find out who he is as a man. And I love him finding his own way. He gives a lot of credit to his sister, but he really holds his own as well. So I'm really proud of him, really proud of his sister, and I like the way that they work as a team in the kitchen. Yeah. Now can I get out?
Thank you, Mama.
You can leave, Mama. But I appreciate y'all. I appreciate you, Mama, for coming and share that nugget. Because one thing that it showed was support for your kids, right? Like, there's so many kids that are walking around that have hope, dreams, and vision buried down deep inside of them, but their support system isn't sturdy, right? And so it's rare that you see a mother, a father, a parent really seriously backing their kids and saying, listen, I don't care how old my child is going to be involved in everything that I'm doing, and then structuring a lifestyle around empowering them to be the best version of them. So I just want to commend you one more time, Mama, for being solid, because it's like if there was a mother award, you know, a Regina Sunshine Mother's Award, you know, you would have one of them already.
Yeah, I was one of those kids. I grew up west side of Atlanta.
Hey, there we go.
And I grew up in the same area we served it, so I know how it feels to not be poured into, and I know how it feels to be poured into.
That's real.
I know both sides of it, and teaching in that area and having them around that they just grew a passion of their own. That's kind of like, okay, they get it.
And So before y'all leave, Mother, we're going to have to really talk, because we're going to have to get you over to the Y.
Yeah.
And for our kids from the hood to see this, because this is a game changer in so many different ways. Yeah.
And just think what kind of impact that would make on the community if you had more mothers and fathers nurturing the sense of entrepreneurship and not just working for somebody else, but having their own stuff. By the time he's 15, 20 years old, he'll be that billionaire. I'm just saying.
All fact. And I think it would also give something into the people that are following them. Like I want to encourage y'all and say I'm so proud of you too, because not only are you making delicious food that we are about to test, but you are being able to shape the people that's following you and the people that's around you to say, no, you can cook too. Oh, you can be a beast in the kitchen. Oh, and you can make some money off of it. You know, that's what a real boss is, of being able to empower other people to be able to make their money moves, you know? And so I want to salute both of y'all, because y'all are amazing. And you're a family team, you know what I'm saying? So definitely, congratulations.
And I want to salute you guys for what you're doing, just working together as a family. The philanthropic aspect of it, what they're doing to help out in the community, and all of the changes, the positive change that we have in our community begins with the community becoming self-sustaining economically and every other area. So nutrition is not only a big part of us self-sustaining ourselves and becoming unreliant on the vendors who permeate in our community to feed us junk, but it is also from a health standpoint. A lot of the health issues we have are centered around nutrition. So it's very refreshing to think that a movement like this could begin with children so young. And I mean, it can't help but have positive results. That's a ripple effect.
And so piggybacking off of what Mr. Larry Hodges just spoke on, there's a campaign that we're launching at the Y called No Child Left Hungry, right? And so what we're going to do with that campaign was we're going to utilize some of the food that we grow in our aquaponics greenhouse, and we're going to utilize that food and then do a food drive, raise food, and just go door to door to be able to service the food desert on Campbellton Road. But what I think could be even better is, while doing that, structuring these classes and getting it up to where we got a little army of young chefs, right? A little army of young chefs, and we could actually serve hot meals one time when we go out and do these No Child Left Hungry. That would be phenomenal.
I found that most of suburban kids are just as hungry as urban, kids. And a lot of times when I would visit my aunt, she stayed in the house. She was a working mom, single parent. Just because she didn't stay in the projects with us, I always wondered why we had food and she didn't. My mom got, food stamps, whereas she worked. And a lot of times she would have to make the decision, will I pay the light bill or will I buy groceries? And so a lot of us are not